A journey begins with one small step. It doesn't matter how hard you hit, whether you win or lose. What matters is that you have a common goal. And to reach that goal, it takes a band of brothers acting as one. Every week, we come together to witness these gladiators of the gridiron pour their heart and soul onto the field. This is Friday Night Rivals on MyTV WQMY.
Welcome to Dunmore's Veterans Memorial Stadium in Lackawanna County. Tonight, it's a Lackawanna Football Conference showdown between Scranton Prep and Dunmore. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Ide, and welcome to the 10th year of covering live local sports here on MyTV WQMY. Joining me in the booth tonight, former Tunkhannock area coach Jan Cichak and Paul Grippy will be on the sidelines. And coach, it's not often we see two teams that won district titles last year meet in week number one, but that's what we have here tonight.
What a great way to open the 2018 season. Two, as you said, district champs, and now they're coming at it to test each other to see how well they can do in the 2018 season.
Scranton Prep won the AAA title. They have a great defense returning. They only gave up 11 points per game last year, and it starts with our Matt Birney Honda Spotlight player, Tucker Johnson.
Tucker Johnson is a high-intensity impact player. Coach Gallagher is counting on him to anchor that defense and to make great plays to help their defense stifle the Bucks.
Dunmore won the AA title last year for the 4th straight year. I think we're going to see more groundwork tonight from Dunmore, maybe more ground and pound, and it's going to start with their running back, our other Matt Birney Honda Spotlight player, and that's Christian Buckley.
Christian Buckley is a young guy who last year missed most of the season due to an injury, but had a breakout game in the playoffs against Newport. So the Bucks are counting on his legs to carry them through the season.
Beautiful weather here tonight. Will it remain that way for the weekend and through the evening? Let's check in now with Mike Linden from the Fox 56 News, first at 10.
Bob, it looks like a fantastic evening out there for some football tonight. Temperatures falling back into the upper 50s, clear skies, cool temperatures, and calm winds. I mean, can you think of more perfect football weather, honestly? So we've got to enjoy this while we have it. Beautiful conditions set to take us through the first Friday Night Rivals game of the season.
Thanks, Mike. We are set for week number one here in Dunmore. Coming up, it's a Lackawanna Football Conference showdown. It's Scranton Prep and the Dunmore Bucks. Next.
Do you know a student or fan of tonight's game? Call them now and tell them they can watch on any computer, tablet, or smartphone wherever they are. Go to fox56.com for a high-quality live stream right now.
The sun is shining bright on Dunmore Stadium. We're getting set for the week number one of high school football in 2018. As I mentioned in the pregame, our third member of our crew this season, no stranger to the area, Paul Grippy down on the sidelines. And Paul, someone missing from the Bucs sideline tonight.
Bob, opening night, and we do feel an absence here. Want to send the get well wishes out to Dunmore head coach Jack Henzis. He had heart surgery on August 9th. He is recovering, and when he does come back, this will be his 52nd season as a head coach in high school football. He is the winningest active head coach in the state of Pennsylvania, 82 years old, and we can't wait for him to get back. Dunmore's going with Jeff Mills and Kevin McHale splitting the offense and defense, and they'll run the team tonight. Everyone here missing Coach Henzis, and Bob, we wish him the best.
Jan and I echo those sentiments,
Absolutely.
Paul, and thank you on the sideline. So the opening toss went to Dunmore. They deferred, so that means we'll see the high-powered Scranton Prep offense. And there you see the kicker this year for the Dunmore Bucks, Peyton Bartrica. He's just a sophomore. Looks like back to receive will be Carter Odell and Mitchell Greco. And Jan, your first game in the broadcast booth, are you missing now being on the sidelines?
Yes, I am, very much.
Well, we're happy to have you.
It's great to be here. Thanks, Bob, for the opportunity. It was difficult coming to the practices this week to watch prep and to watch Dunmore, but I don't miss the headache and the sweat and the time that you miss with your family. Here we go.
We are underway in 2018. Odell. Nice little return.
Oh, ball.
Ball is on the turf. They're going to call.
No, Prep's
Prep
ball.
keeps the ball. And that's where we'll start. So that means we'll see the 6'7", 220-pound senior quarterback Leo O'Boyle. And boy, did he have a breakout year last year. 1,543 yards, 9 interceptions, 22 touchdowns. And Coach, what do you like about him?
I like his size. I like his athleticism. He's a great basketball player. So he brings that right to this game right now.
Biggest question marks, though, Coach, it will be who will catch the ball from him. Who's going to be that big receiver for Leo this year?
Well, I think Leo's, start out. Yep, there we go. Off tackle. Okay, little out.
Leading
RPO.
returner, Ryan Cosgrove up for a 9. Cosgrove with a nice year last year, 417 yards.
Good enough for a first down there, Bob.
First down of the year.
Get that. There's first hit jitters out of the way. Always come back with the run play. Here we go. 1st and 10.
Back to the traditional looking eye. 2 wideouts for Scranton Prep and a tight end. Back to Cosgrove, and boy, that offensive line early on, Coach, getting a push on the defensive front. Here now your Toyota starters on offense for Scranton Prep. We saw Ryan Cosgrove already. He's a senior, going to be the tailback this season. The wideouts, that's the big question mark. Greco and Para and Ordell all can catch the ball. A couple of them had touchdowns last year. And up front, they're missing 3 out of 5 guys. Connor James, the new center, he's just a junior. A lot of pressure on him to get Leo the ball.
Well, he's 6'1", 250, so he's a physical kid, so he just has to get that game experience.
Prep on Dunmore's side of the ball early on. Cosgrove with room, up for about 5.
That's the second time Dan Bellardi, their left tackle, has pulled, and he's leading the way. So I think they're trying to send a message with 6'3", 265-pound Mr. Bellardi coming at you.
Well, we know Dunmore's line last year on both sides of the ball was very big, very experienced, Coach. This year, a little bit, they have some inexperience and a little bit smaller.
They're not quite as physical size as they were last year, but you know what? They're so well coached, and it's just going to take a little bit of time to get their gel together.
Boyle hasn't thrown one yet. Good job by Saka, the senior, coming in and tripping up Cosgrove. Here your Toyota defensive line. Overholtz last year 78 tackles, 19 for those for a loss. The linebackers, couple new guys in there, including junior Tolley, Ralph Tolley in there on your linebackers, and then your secondary. There are your linebackers, Metzko and Tolley in there. And now in this secondary, McDade has some experience from last year's district champion team. They're down on the way. Big push from the line, another first down for the Cavaliers. Up inside the 35.
Just a basic isolation play. They're running left. They really like, Prep really likes their left side of the line, which I mean, they have 2 seniors anchoring it. You have Dan Bellardi and Anthony Kromko, and that's where they're going. A nice lead blocking by their fullback just right then, which was really nice, great block to blow that up. Dunmore's going to just have to stay low, and they're just going to have to keep playing physical. Pass.
First pass of the night. And Leo Boyle overshoots. He's trying to hit number 34 as tight end Para out there. So second down on the way.
Yeah, Matt Para is a nice sized kid, so that's a 6'2", 6'7" quarterback thrown to a 6'2". And again, Leo's probably got, you know, the first game jitters, and he'll settle down and he'll do well. That was decent coverage though on the other guys. Tight end, linebackers gonna have to get out there and scrape to get that. Trips formation.
Boyle into the shotgun again on second down. Hand off, big running room for Cosgrove again, who's been the workhorse on this drive. It started all the way back at near the 30-yard line.
Anthony Kromko on that one, lead blocking, coming down with the power G play. Nice job.
Well, like I said, Cosgrove last year carried it 52 times. Did have 3 touchdowns, averages over 8 yards per carry. And Matthew Martin, who ran the ball last year for Scranton Prep, was a workhorse, but he was injured.
Oh, bad
There
snap.
I talk. New center in there.
Yep.
So Connor James is the center, number 79, and he overflew that one.
Just a little bit. And again, first game as a center, that's the toughest thing to do, especially being an underclassman. And we talked about having only one scrimmage, so again, that really puts a lot more pressure on these young men. I think they'll be okay. I mean, this is good. All right, 4th down.
Big break for the Dunmore Bucks, who are giving up huge yardage.
A lot of personnel change. I don't know if they're
Well, it's 4th and forever. Fourth down. They call it 17 to go, so we'll see Butner on to
Here we
punt the
go.
ball. Borgia back to receive as his 10 for Dunmore. Butner does have a good leg, and it does have some experience.
I would expect a sideline kick right here because Borgia is an explosive kind of runner. He might not have that breakaway speed, but he's a really talented kid.
So Prep calls a timeout on special teams, and as a coach, it's got to drive you nuts in the first game.
Well, you expect that. In the first half, you might as well use your timeouts because you can't take them with you. And again, referring back to only having one scrimmage, it's a little bit different. Obviously, the pace tonight and the time constraints, a 25-second clock. So we got, I understand Coach Gallagher can get a little, as a head coach, you get frustrated, but we'll see what happens here. I really do expect them to just corner kick this.
Brian J. Calley & Associates is a full-service law firm protecting, respecting, and working with clients to get the best results. Attorney Calley has over 40 years of experience helping and caring for his clients. Visit Brian J. Calley & Associates website at brianjcalley.com or call 570-344-2029 to schedule a free consultation. So Borgia pulls that down as the punter, but guess what? Steve Borgia is the new quarterback for the Dunmore Bucks. Played receiver last year, had 1 for 2 last year, 5 yards, 17 catches. What do you like about this new quarterback for Dunmore?
He is an athletic kid. He has experience playing the quarterback position, but last year, because he's such a good athlete, Coach Henzis, they felt he needed to be on the field, and they put him at receiver. So he has play reps. It's just now he has to learn this position. Just settle down, and he'll be fine. I think what's going to, with Dunmore, it's going to be an interesting year to see what they come out with offensively.
So what will the offense look? It's an offense that averaged 295 yards per game last year, 38 points. But they did have Darcy at quarterback, who threw a lot more. So they rushed for the ball for 153. First play of the game is a pass out to Buckley. Little swing pass and good yardage, pass to 20. Here are now your Toyota starters for the offense of Dunmore. Up front, just one starter back on the offensive line. We'll take a look at the backfield first. Billy Donvito is in there at fullback, had some experience last year, 9 touchdowns. Wide receivers, played a little bit last year as well. Well, take a look at George Mesco. He's the big tight end. And up front, just one returning starter. LeCapper is in there, pressure on him as the new center.
Back in the eye, last play looked like they were going to do a little bit of RPO, that run-pass option. They did the pass.
And there's our first flag. It's going to be an offsides on Prep. Our referee tonight is Mike Serra. So that will give Dunmore their first down of the season. And penalties in the first game, Coach. See a lot of them, especially without the second scrimmage.
Yeah, it is. Because the kids, again, they got the adrenaline flowing. The timing still isn't quite where it should be. And the kids just, the officials, they're not used to having officials, again, because they only see them one time at one scrimmage. Prep in their 4-4, trading tight end.
This is Buckley. Tries to bounce to the outside. Great tackle by Para coming from his linebacker spot for about 6 yards. Nothing fancy from both teams here early on. Just going to play the guys up front and see who has the better line tonight.
And I'll tell you what, I think they just came right out and did what Prep was doing. They pulled their backside tackle for that power G scheme. And Buckley, I'll tell you, that was a nice spin that he had, gained him an extra 2 yards.
Second and about 4. This is to Donvito, the fullback, more built like a running back at 175 pounds. He's up close to another first down, about a yard away.
And went inside to the fullback on the trap that play to see what happened, and he bounced it a little bit wide because those 2 inside tackles for Prep are pretty stout in there. You got 235 and 250 in there, and that's kind of hard to move sometimes.
Power eye.
Oh,
Great
power.
job.
Ball.
Ball's
It's
on
still
the
loose.
turf. And it looks like it will go over to the Cavaliers as Buckley coughed it up, looked like Parrish shot in there. Number 34.
He did. The backside, the tackle missed that block. That guy came in hard. Ball's at the 24 for Prep. They're in really good field position right now.
So Prep gets the first break. They recover the fumble, and they'll have the ball at the Bucks 29-yard line.
It's interesting. Sometimes, Bob, coaches will say, hey, you know what? We just got a turnover. Let's go downtown. I'm wondering if that's what Coach Gallagher's thinking right now, having Leo back there as his quarterback.
Instead they'll hand it to Cosgrove. He's got a lot of running room. Big gain. Talk about 13 yards up near the 15-yard line. Here's looking for the impact players from Dunmore Drugstore. For Prep,
Big Dan Bellardi, 6'3", 265-pound senior, 3-year starter. Michael Greco, another senior, 6'2", 165. He plays that, well, they have him at split end. A wide receiver, and Alex Butner, who has a great leg. He's also a soccer player.
so after the first down, Prep going to go to the air and a little inside track and almost picked off.
By number 32. Charles Valvano on that played great in that cover 2 scheme, and he just was real patient. He almost had that pick.
Looked like an inside slant type pass, Coach.
It was that's part of that RPO where you're reading that defensive end coming in. You're looking, their linebackers have to honor that running back, and that he just had that quick slant.
Almost a big break for the Bucks. Now can the defense hold? They're already in field goal position for Alec Buckner, who has a nice leg.
Well,
Keeper by O'Boyle. The 6'7" senior scores the first touchdown for Scranton Prep, and they're on the board. It's a Manuka Subaru touchdown for the Cavaliers.
that's one of the things with the RPO, that run pass option, that you want to see your quarterback do that, because now defenses will start to key a little bit more on your running back and your receivers if they know the quarterback's not going to be running the ball. He wasn't quite a threat on that one. Leo, nice job. Mr. O'Boyle, nice job with that read and great running.
O'Boyle can run the ball, 5.6 yards last year and 7 touchdowns.
So he does have that. He does
He's
have
quicker
it,
than
and I'll
he
tell you
looks.
what.
He's a big kid with big stride, right?
And he's 230 pounds at 6'7". That's a pretty solid kid.
Southpaw kicker on. Kick
Snap.
is up, and it is good.
It is good,
So
yep.
Scranton Prep, after the turnover, converts it into points, and they lead over the Bucks here on the first Friday night of football in 2018, 7-0.
Do you know a student or fan of tonight's game? Call them now and tell them they can watch on any computer, tablet, or smartphone wherever they are. Go to fox56.com for a high-quality live stream right now.
Everybody has stuff. The question is what to do with it. What do you save? What do you store? And what do you get rid of? Keystone Container in Dunmore has storage containers and dumpsters to help you manage. Call 570-969-2400.
So Prep kicks off after the O'Boyle touchdown. Borgia gets a little bit of a hole, and he's taken down by Tolerand up past the 30. So a turnover, converted into points. That's the way you like to draw it up. 16-yard scamper from Leo O'Boyle. They converted, Coach. 2 plays, 29 yards.
Well, you know, and who would have thunk you? I would have really thought that Leo, they would have gone downtown on that first play. They set it up beautifully for Leo O'Boyle to run that RPO, and he gets in there. I tell you what, Prep's going to be looking pretty good this year, and Dunmore, I know, will respond because they were so well coached.
So Borgia back in the shotgun now. And I think they took way too much time or something. False start up front. So second penalty of the night will go to the Bucks. And I think Dunmore has to, do they have to find their identity this year? Knowing what they had last year, Darcy threw the ball a little bit more. They did have a good running game, but this year, looking forward still a little bit?
I think this is something new for Dunmore. Having that one back in the backfield. Borgia, the RPO again, I know I keep referring to that, but that's been the latest topic, the hot buttons for football, all the way from pro all the way down.
No running room for Buckley in the middle. Bellardi in there with Holmes. A couple of the big seniors for Scranton Prep playing in Division II again this year. Dunmore in Division III of the Lackawanna Football Conference, as those things have switched around.
Dunmore, as we were talking, is going to try to find their identity. Again, trying to run the inside zone, outside zone. It does take some getting used to and a lot of repetition. And again, with this 4-4 defense being so stout, the inside game is going to be a little bit tougher to get that inside zone established.
Well, Dunmore has struggled against Scranton Prep over the past few years. Last time these two teams met in 2015, it was 21-0 Prep. The year before that, as you see, another great defensive play. There's Tucker Johnson in there. And it's going to be 3rd and long facing Dunmore. The year before that, Coach, they lost 26-0. So you add that up, that's like 47-0 last time these two teams have played. But Dunmore has gone on to success after that in AA.
And that's and part of this is the growing process of a AA school versus AAA school. So it's a great test for them. Does it count against their record? Yes. But it ultimately, obviously, it has helped Dunmore the last few years playing these guys.
Facing better competition, even though it's week number 1.
Yes.
Little
draw action. It gives them a little more breathing room.
So punt team will come on for the Bucks. We're just under 3.5 to play here in the first quarter. Prep up 7-0 here on MyTV, WQFY. Bob I, Jan Sechak, Paul Grippy on the sidelines. We'll get to Paul at the beginning of the second quarter.
Punting from the 35-yard line. They're fine on time. They can just relax, settle it down. Good snap. Oh.
Borgia with a high off the side of his foot kick. Oh, it takes a huge Prep bounce. Borgia actually touches it, and it will begin just inside the 44 of the Dunmore Bucks.
Keystone College. Experience open house on Saturday, September 22nd. Student parents register at keystone.edu.
7-0, Prep has the ball back. So far, I think their offensive line playing a little bit better than the Dunmore defensive line and vice versa.
I would agree with that.
I think that you can see the size of Prep when we went to practice this week. They do have some big guys, and they have. There's our flag come in, probably a holding call.
There was a speed sweep from Prep.
Greco. It will be a holding on Scranton Prep. So flag starting to accumulate a little bit. It's our third.
Yeah, and that's what drives you crazy as a coach. It's like, okay, especially when the running back is by you, you can just release and go to the second level.
Let's get a back up Prep inside Buck territory, all the way back to the, 35. So, I should say 43. Prep's at the 35. Ball's at the 43. So now Prep will walk up to the ball. If you're new to this game, this is what happens.
This is what happens.
And then they go up to the ball.
All right, Leo's got trips left right now, motion.
Another handoff, no running room that time. Good job on the inside where Overholtz, who you see there without a helmet, Vito's in there, and Harity.
I'm not sure if he has to come out for a play because his helmet came off. Yes, he does. They still, okay, I wasn't sure because I didn't go to the rules interpretation meeting this year. But once your helmet comes off, you have to come off for a play. And again, the center, there was a questionable snap on that. It was a little high. Maybe Dunmore's Jake Salka might be getting in there and doing some damage or getting into the center's head a little bit.
Let's see if O'Boyle goes to the air. He does. He rolls to his left.
Little blitz action.
And he's trying to pick Greco on there on an out, but through it.
Pressure from Billy Don Vito, inside linebacker, bringing some heat. Forcing O'Boyle to get that off a little bit faster than he wanted to. We got 3rd and 20, Bob. What would you do if you were the coach?
Run a draw or a screen pass.
Screen, okay.
But I don't get paid to coach. You did, so.
Well, that's why I'm up here with you now.
That's why you're up here with me now. Well, let's see what Prep has up their sleeve. Orja goes out and covers Grady. Leo over the middle. Wide open Greco down the seam. Bounces it outside, and a huge gain for the Cavaliers down to the 25-yard line. 50 yards.
3rd and 20, and they come back and he hits that slam pattern. Nice job in there.
How about that arm strength, though, getting it over the middle?
I'll tell you, if they give Leo O'Boyle that kind of time, he's going to pick teams apart. It's going to be really difficult to stop him.
40-yard completion. Prep in business again. Back out to Odell, and he ended up dropping the ball. Will go incomplete. He had his knee down anyway.
Correct. I was just going to say the same thing.
So Boyle working out the rust. Of course, Leo, a basketball player as well, played AAU over the summer. Picked up several offers on that, almost 5, 6, 7. He's going to colleges constantly for basketball. Coach Gallagher's talked to football people. They love what he does, his footwork. He's athletic, right? I mean, what's he going to play? That's the big question. Well, not answered yet, but.
Well, when we spoke with him at the media day, he just enjoys being an athlete, and he's really going to stay true to himself. There again, and there's that RPO, and
he's
Leo
tough to
kept
take
it.
down. Oh, Boyle breaks 2 tackles, gets inside the 10, first to goal, Cavaliers. There's the strength of Leo O'Boyle.
Again, that RPO, they did a real nice job setting that up nice and slow. Leo didn't rush it, did a great read, and he takes it all the way down to the 9-yard line. First and goal at the 9. But as we were saying at media day, he is a unique guy. I mean, yeah, he is a basketball recruit, and he told us, people want me not to play football. He goes, you know what? I want to play. Because he wants to prove it to himself that he can do this. And obviously he has last year, and he wants to help Prep go deeper into the playoffs this year.
So here's an interesting thing. Boyle's got to come out. He has blood on him.
Yeah.
So the officials make him go out. The backup quarterback, Patty Grady, comes in for one play.
Well, let's hope.
I'm handing the ball off.
I would too. You know, that's always tough for your number 2 quarterback to come in under that kind of circumstance. Say, okay, well, they're in power I, so.
First and goal, Green underneath center.
Little power play. Oh.
They stopped it.
They blew the whistle
Illegal
down.
motion. Now, can he come back in? Can O'Boyle come back in now since this is since the blow?
Yeah, no, it's still one play. He's allowed to come back in. It's up to their trainer. Yep, there you go. Yep.
So the false start backs up the ball to the 15. O'Boyle, you see, is still on the sideline.
So they're going to come back. I'm sure they're going to come back out with the power I. Well, no, look at that. Okay.
Grady's still in the game as the quarterback into the shotgun. So the sophomore who played freshman ball last year in a big spot here early on. Hands the ball up to Cosgrove. Takes a big hit in there.
Well,
up to the 10. Good tackle on the inside.
Yeah, O'Boyle's back with Coach Gallagher now, getting that call. I'd be a little leery if the backup Q, number 2 Q, had to come back in, because the center, again, he's been snapping it high.
Santicero for Dunmore had a big hit on Cosgrove. So last play of the first count, another bad snap, and there's Santicero again with the sack. Ball back at the 20, and that will probably end this quarter. The Dunmore defense stepping up their game. They trailed 7-0 after the first.
Friday Night Rivals is brought to you in part by Toyota, Let's Go Places, Luzerne County Community College, Matt Verney Honda, Fidelity Bank, Keystone College, Manuka Subaru, Dunmore Drugstore, and the Greater Scranton YMCA.
Back here at Dunmore's Veterans Memorial Stadium, a real example of the community that we live in and how that community comes together. Last week on Saturday, the North Pocono School District suffered a loss. Senior Pat Luptak died, unfortunately, in a car crash. And tonight we're remembering him and honoring him. Many people in the crowd are wearing green shirts. Now, Pat was a lacrosse player and a cross-country runner for the Trojans. And throughout all of the district tonight, stadiums are asked to wear green in honor of Pat Luptak. Pat was a big Philadelphia Eagles fan, and that's why they chose the color green. But all the cheerleaders have green shoelaces, green makeup, green paint, and you see behind me the crowd, that's from Scranton Prep, all their student section, also wearing green. Throughout this stadium, lots of people wearing green. The community comes together to remember North Pocono's Pat Luptak. Bob, an Eagles fan, just like yourself.
Of course, our condolences go to the Luptak family, and glad to see a lot of people supporting them tonight by wearing green. Back on the field, you saw O'Boyle on third down take the ball outside, Coach.
He did. He rolled. The Dunmore Bucks did a nice job covering down their receivers, so he had no option other than to roll and run that ball. So here we go, fourth.
So Butner into the game, has a nice strong arm, set the ball about the 20. This will all come down to the snap, too. You don't practice special teams that much.
I'll tell you what, as we were watching Dunmore the other day, and I said to you I was impressed with how much time they spent with their special teams. 1/3 of the game. I know that's a very cliche saying, but it's huge.
Good snap. Bad snap.
Right through the holder.
Butner just going to try to do anything he can.
All right.
He gets out of bounds, and it'll be Bucks ball they hold.
Looks like they're going to be at the 16-yard line. Again, that was a good snap, but we just had a little bit of trouble with that hold. Sushi and Thai Hibachi in Dunmore offers a wide array of authentic Japanese and Thai food. We are open 7 days a week and offer lunch and dinner specials. You can enjoy our sushi, Thai, or hibachi by eating in or takeout, and you can order online. We are located next to Burger King in front of the Dunmore YMCA.
So early season mistakes plaguing both teams.
Borgia back.
Borgia back and a throw it up long. Valvano deep overthrew him. He was well covered on the outside.
He was.
By Janello.
And Borgia actually put the ball where it should be. And this it comes back to what we talked about earlier. Borgia now's the quarterback. First game, he doesn't have that timing down. I mentioned earlier, only one scrimmage. I know the Dunmore coaches get these kids involved by going to Pine Forest, and you get that kind of competition, but it's never the same.
No.
Game speed is a lot different on Friday nights than it is in July.
Borgia, a junior, did play quarterback growing up with the Dunmore Oilers and also as the freshman team. Played wide receiver last year.
Counter tray.
Give it to Buckley. Good power by Buckley getting into the secondary.
That looked like the old Washington Redskins counter tray action. The right guard and right tackle both pulled towards us. Here it comes. And you can see Buckley, you know, he is a grinder. And as we said earlier, he's the one that they're hoping will be able to run these guys deep into the playoffs.
I think that was number 28, Coach. That was Dawkins. Rayshawn
Oh,
Dawkins,
it is Rayshawn.
number 28.
I apologize to Rayshawn and his family about that.
Yeah. Up. The two, just saw the 2 number.
I just saw 2, and I saw those big linemen coming.
Well, good job by Dawkins. We'll see him again.
Okay, that they tried doing the fake speed sweep on that one with the quarterback keep with Borgia, but Scranton Prep didn't bite.
So 4th down now. We think with a yard, do they trust their offense to get the yard or give it back to the potent defense? Or
I'd punt it. You're just too close.
remember, Borgia is the punter, though. So if something breaks down, he does have the speed to get outside. He could make something happen. Odell back deep, just inside Buck territory. Better kick this time by Borgia. Odell clears out, wisely so. Did it hit the Prep player or not? The referees say no,
Nope.
And it will be Cavalier ball.
It's the hidden gem for your furniture shopping. C&O Furniture and Mattress Showroom in Einan has 28,000 square feet of living room sets, dinettes, recliners, and bedroom suites. Visit C&O Furniture and Mattress Showroom. They're located 265 3rd Street in Einan. Call 570-876-2318. C&O Furniture and Mattress.com.
10-10 remaining. First half, 7-0 your score here at Dunmore's Veterans Memorial Stadium. Bob I, former Tunkhannock area coach Jan Sechak in the booth with me. Paul Grippy on the sidelines. Good game so far. Early mistakes by both teams, which you expect. But
yeah, first game, jitters, absolutely.
And both teams have had opportunities.
They have. I thought, wow, on that opening kickoff, I thought Dunmore, boy, if they had that and scored early, you never know. I mean, the woulda, couldas, and shouldas. But you know what? Dunmore has really done a nice job settling down and trying to take this to Prep right now. They're flushing them out.
Huge sack of Boyle. Held on the ball too long. Back at the 30. The Bucks defense comes up big.
That was Ralph Tolley, Jr., linebacker, bringing that pressure with Kyle Harity on the back right side end also bringing pressure.
What play was that supposed to be, you think?
They were going for, obviously, it looked like they were doing a little slant, what we call sluggo, slant and go. But that was a nice job. Defense, there
was a penalty on the play. It was on Prep, but Dunmore has declined that. So take the sack, second sack of the night. And second down. Scoreboard's still trying to figure out how long, but it's about 18 yards.
I think it's about 28, Coach.
Add a 2 to that.
Oh,
they did.
There we go.
They're at 28. Right to Cosgrove. And Dunmore's done a nice job. Early on, I think they were getting pushed around, but now it seems like the linebackers are getting off their blocks a little bit better.
And their defensive line is actually staying a little bit lower. And again, we always tell our defensive linemen, keep your cleats in the ground, get in there just like that. You can see that he had it cut back because that means the defensive line was doing their job. They weren't getting pushed.
So things settling down here at Dunmore. Prep not too quick to put it in the air, but remember O'Boyle did convert on a
3rd and 28.
Third and 20, something like last possession. Good blocking this time. Scott Greco down. He underthrew it. And Buckley came back to knock it down.
Well, I talked to Coach Barrett pre-game, and they were hoping that Christian Buckley was going to do that. Look at the pressure from number 33 on that, Billy Don Vito. Great coverage. Buckley is in great shape. Comes up, tip drill.
Janello, the intended receiver, Buckley right there. But up the arm strain from O'Boyle, though, on the run and just throwing it down.
And it's just like he's in the backyard just throwing the ball. He makes it look so effortless. But I know there's a lot of time he spends in the weight room making sure he's doing the right things.
So Butner on to punt. Borgia back to receive. Good snap.
Put a little bit of pressure on from those outside ends.
And if he picks it up, Borgia has running room. And he does.
Tough,
Gets out of bounds wisely. You don't want to get your quarterback hurt in the first game.
No, not especially your first year quarterback.
There is Borgia, the junior. A little hot out there, and I think they're going to take a water break, and they will. So a water break on the field with 8:10 remaining. And we'll take a timeout ourselves, and we'll grab our water as well. 7-0, Scranton Prep.
Associates is a full-service law firm protecting, respecting, and working with clients to get the best results. Attorney Callie has over 40 years of experience helping and caring for his clients. Visit Brian J. Callie & Associates website at brianjcallie.com or call 570-344-2029 to schedule a free consultation.
So back we are at Dunmore's Veterans Memorial Stadium. The Bucks on first down. Hand the ball off to Don Vito. Picks up about 5. It is a hot night, and the referees making sure everyone gets their enough water and everything.
They are. They're concerned about the kids' safety. And for as much as grief as they get at times, you know what they really do in taking a water break? That's just being smart.
Pitch. Dawkins. No room whatsoever out there. Prep right there. No gain on the play.
Well, Prep's defense is well known for how fast they floated the ball. If you look, 56 actually missed the block for Dunmore. But look at that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys flowing to the ball for Prep.
Kropko was out there one of the first guys at defensive tackle. He's a senior. So third down on the way for Dunmore.
With Pat Down Vito, again, I'm not being critical, by missing that lead block he was. Now that running back has to pick that up, and it messes the timing up. But again, it is the first game, and they're only going to get better.
Buckley in there as the back. Well, Borgia, you saw that pass just go way out in front, trying to hit his receiver. Brian J. Callie & Associates, keys to the game. Got to win the turnover battle right now. Prep's advantage in that category.
Yes, they are. So if we can keep that, if Dunmore can keep that under control for the rest of the game, I mean, they're right in this game right now. They're hanging with them, and who knows what Dunmore can do.
I think the offense, though, for Dunmore has to wake up a little bit. They just haven't had much offense. Their defense is playing a lot better, but the offense now has to come into shape as well in this game. Borgia back.
When you're playing defense, if the kids are naturally aggressive, which both teams are, it's a little bit easier to coach that than it is trying to make sure the technique on the offensive side. as we talk about, if you miss a block here, if you're not quite sure, you have that little bit of hesitation as an offensive lineman, that goes all to defense.
So Leo Boyle will come back out with his offense. Boyle had that one big pass so far in the game. But other than that, Dunmore's done a nice job.
They've done a great job covering their guys. Again, I didn't expect Dunmore to be playing as much man as they are, but you know what? They're covering these kids down. Right now they're in the cover 2 shell look.
Back to Cosgrove they go, and
nice job.
Nice job on the
Real
inside.
nice job.
Harity,
That
Kyle
was
Harity
Kyle
shoots
Harity.
in off his defensive end, and we have an injured Buck on the field.
And I can't see number.
Big guy though. And he's
It's not Salka, I
holding his
hope.
leg. Here you see it. Oh, might have been Salka.
Yeah, 60.
Yeah, might
Yeah,
have
I
been.
think that's Jake Salko.
And that's a big loss. He's their senior captain.
And he's
experience.
offensive line, offensive tackle, and defensive tackle.
And well, he's definitely one of our impact players tonight, especially on that left side of the line. The other ones are Mesco and McDade.
Those guys, I'll tell you what. I mean, the next man up, it was Cashmere, who actually started the game, and then we have Louis LaCapra, who's 5'9", 280. So he's a big, solid kid. But again, is he ready to go for these reps? And that's going to be key for the Dunmore Bucks right now. We also, with George Mesco, I mean, he's a senior, 85 tackles last year, 14 tackles for losses, and 2 sacks. So they're going to have to step his game up a little bit. And Billy Donvita, you've been seeing he's been getting some pressure in there. It's a good sign to see Jake is actually sitting up.
And there you see Dunmore taking a knee. Not only a good idea because of their injured player, but also take a little break. Being helped off the field, Jake Salka going to get a round of applause, holding that leg up, and boy, that could be a huge loss for the Bucks. Their leader on offense and defense.
It's the hidden gem for your furniture shopping. C&O Furniture and Mattress Showroom in Einan has 28,000 square feet of living room sets, dinettes, recliners, and bedroom suites. Visit C&O Furniture and Mattress Showroom, 265 3rd Street in Einan. Call 570-876-2318. C&O Furniture and Mattress.com.
So Coach Jeff Mills, one of the assistants, his offensive coordinator, now going to set up his offense without his left tackle in the game, it looks like. And we have a replay. We see it a little bit on one of the replays. Here we'll see it again, Coach, and you can see 63 right there.
He gets stood up, and he starts coming back. And if you look right there, Prep, yeah. Prep was coming in. They were just crashing, and they actually hit another Dunmore guy.
And that's what happens on that interior line, right?
All the time. And we always tell, point of emphasis for D linemen, never stand up, 1, and 2, never stop your feet. You always want to keep going.
Well, best wishes to Jake Salka. Interviewed him at Media Day. Great kid, a lot of energy. Really was looking forward to this game.
Yep, and this season.
Well, now next man up for the Bucks on the field. Second down for Prep.
It did look like motion. But that was a great stop right there by the Bucks. Tremendous job. Tyler Overhalt's right up in there, being pretty stout. And then I think that was Cashmere who stepped in there now for Jake Salka. Did a nice job. We talked just the other day on the vlog, and Coach Koharski said it's that next man up mentality, and here we go. I mean, game 1, you don't want to see it, but we have to go. It's a long season, and these kids are ready to go.
I think where they're going to miss Jake will be on the offensive side, more the defensive side. They're rotating him in already, but we have a left tackle in there.
Yeah, that's the
Again,
toughest.
with a righty thrower, you see what happens. So
Well, the blind side, right?
yeah, 3rd and long for Cavaliers. Dunmore's defense really playing well.
There's Don Vito on the inside blitz.
Down to Odell, it's another short pass. Oh, and a late flag comes in, and this may go against Ralph Tolley.
Wow. All right.
So it's going to be a penalty. Here you go, Coach.
If you look, Don Vito coming in, putting that pressure on. I thought that was a really well-defended play. The ball was underthrown. I know in the college ranks we would say it was uncatchable, but
Do you have to have your head turned around? You have to see the ball as a defensive
you're
back?
supposed to, yeah.
Are they going to
But
call that because he didn't turn his head?
I think that's probably how they would justify that. But again, he was running and he was reading the receiver's eyes, and then the receiver came back into him. That's how I saw it. But yeah,
And a couple passes from O'Boyle have gone short tonight.
yeah, they have.
I haven't led them real well.
But he has new receivers. Again, that whole timing thing. There's the RPO. And a great job.
Gets a penalty, comes right back with a big play for the junior.
There you go. Ralph Tolley coming right off that edge, and he just blew that up. That's one of the problems with the RPO. If you get a guy on the outside coming in that fast and hard, and they can close it up. I mean, he had 2 players, 1 person.
Prep also replacing 3 guys on the offensive line, so we have new guys up front for them. Velarde and Holmes are the only returners with much experience.
All right, back out.
Penalty comes in, may have an illegal
Ball behind.
motion or something.
Yep.
I missed the initial call, and here let's look at that play again. It will be play dead then. Tried to catch it with his shoulder pad and not his
Coming
arm,
up
not his
inside.
hands, right?
For us, what we would end up calling, we used cities and states to call our formation because our kids, it's speaking a whole different language. So the other team, maybe by the 4th quarter, would catch on. That was our Florida set, which is trips, and then they were trying to just do that little zip screen inside with it. They were slipping the fullback out to the flat. But Leo, he saw that. That's what they were setting up. It's almost like running a pick play with that fullback coming out, but we don't have those.
Good snap. Boyle sets his feet. A little short. Gets it to Greco. He's going to be about a yard short and bring up 4th down. Probably go for it. They'll come up to the ball quickly. Here's that again.
Here it is. They went into what we call Texas set comeback. And again, you always tell your receiver, go past the stick and come right back. Make sure you get that 1st down. And he did a nice job. Ball was thrown a little bit behind him. That's why they didn't get that first.
Inside the 40, definitely going to go for it. Boyle doesn't look real sharp tonight, but he's made the big passes when he's needed to, and Dunmore's going to call a timeout, wisely so. Set that
get the
defense
kids ready.
And give them a break here. 4:07 remaining in the half.
I mean, right now they got the power eye set. Now they know what's coming at them. But again, this is what Prep did before, but then they came back out with the RPO look. Thank you. Keystone College. Experience open house on Saturday, September 22nd. Student and parents register at keystone.edu.
So we are back at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Here you see Kevin McHale. He is the defensive coordinator, also assistant coach. I don't want to call him interim head coach tonight, but he is the man making the decisions if the referee needs to talk to somebody.
And you see it, he's just trying to settle down. Look, there's only 4 minutes left in the half. We've got this. Just play football, stay low, play your assignments.
We knew it was going to be a good game, and we knew it was going to be a tough game on both sides, and I think it's lived up to expectations.
Oh,
so
it really
far.
has. I mean, for first game, having 2 division district champs coming out in the gates, power eye backfield.
Well, when you have a 6'7" quarterback You just let him put his head forward, and he picks up 5 yards.
That was a great surge by that Prep offensive line of Bilardi, Kromko, James, DeBilio, and TJ Holmes. Boy, did they get in there, and they just rooted those guys out. And Bob, like you said, being 6'7", he got an extra 3 yards.
What are the advantages of having?
Here it is, look at that.
Their quarterback, James, he was 5 yards down. Their center, I should say.
Yep.
So keeps the drive alive. The ball inside at 35. Room for Cosgrove. Sheds a tackle. Still pulling his way inside the 15. First down, Scranton Prep. 20 yards for Ryan Cosgrove.
Watch this inside. Here comes that counter tray again, action with it. Backside guard tackle pulling. The receivers outside, number 7, did a nice job with the stalk block, Mitchell Greco, and that just collapsed everything on Prep's right side, and that was a heck of a run.
Cosgrove's showed maybe he's the feature back this year.
Well, that's what they thought. They were hoping that if they can get a decent run game going, and when you have a 6'1", 180-pound senior who actually had 3 touchdowns last year and carried for over 400 yards, you know, that's a nice basis to build with Leo O'Boyle back there.
Mesco with a nice trip up on Cosgrove. This is where the Dunmore defense has come up pretty big tonight. Let's see if they go back to O'Boyle maybe and run him a little bit.
Well, they just may come back with that RPO, and again, maybe this time Dunmore can answer that in terms of making sure that O'Boyle does not get loose. Less than 3 minutes to go in the half.
Moving up front, back to Cosgrove, and
Nice.
Overholt's coming from the outside,
Wow.
along with Harity.
Nice job. Nice job. Billy Donvito in there again. I'll tell you what, him and Overholtz, wow, that was a nice job. Coach McHale is going to be real happy with this. Look at that pursuit.
McDade in there first, number 8.
Yeah, McDade was the first point of attack. Right in there. So the running back was actually looking to cut back, and that's why that backside linebacker and backside end were able to close that down and make that play.
Prep can get a first down inside their 5.
There's a
Here comes
pass.
the blitz on the outside, and
There's
force
that
O'Boyle
screen.
to throw it.
Great job.
And Borgia comes up
Wow.
to whack Cosgrove.
There was tremendous pressure again from that right side of Dunmore's defense. I'll tell you, they're bringing that heat. And again, the screen, look at that. Borgia just came right off of, he knew it. Look at the pursuit by number 70. Nice job there by Anthony Cashmere.
So let's try a field goal again. Last time the holder couldn't hang on to the ball. So Butler didn't get a chance to use his leg.
He used both legs running it.
Yes, he did. 30-yard attempt. Bad snap. Gets it off.
Is it?
And it is through.
Wow.
A lot going on right there, but with 1 minute left, the Butler field goal is good. 10-0 Cavaliers. Well, it's a special night on the Dunmore sidelines. Of course, Jack Hens not here, but a lot going on. The cheerleaders are happy, and Paul Grippy standing by with them. Paul?
Well, Bob, I know we have very loyal viewers, and I want to say hello to some special viewers tonight on the 5th floor of the CMC in Scranton. I say hi, Mom and Dad. Tonight is Mr. and Mrs. Grippy's 50th wedding anniversary. That's right, August 24th, 1968. Rich Grippy, Marie Grippy got married. So a very happy wedding anniversary, but it's not just for me. Look at this cute lady here. This is my favorite niece, Lauren Grippy, Dunmore cheerleader, junior tennis player. And you know what my parents and your grandparents are doing today? What's special?
No.
It is their wedding
yeah.
anniversary.
Yeah.
Why don't you wish them a very happy 50th wedding anniversary?
Happy anniversary, Grandma and Grandpa.
Okay, so from Paul and Lauren, how's the cheering going tonight?
It's going great. We're having a great time.
All right, let's go Bucks, right?
Go Bucks.
All right, happy anniversary, Mom and Dad. Mom, get well soon. And we miss you here at the game, and we will catch up with you later. Happy anniversary.
I don't think he told his niece he was going to pull her out.
I don't
Did you
think
see her?
so.
Like,
And
Uncle, what are you doing?
Paul should be her favorite uncle
Yes.
right now for getting her on TV.
Or the worst. You know, teenagers. They can go either way.
Yeah, you're right. Well, it's the second quarter.
Yeah.
Borgia, slip.
Borgia slips there. But we echo those sentiments. Get well soon to Mrs. Grippy.
And happy anniversary,
Yep.
50 years. That is a milestone. Congratulations.
So under a minute to play, 10-0 Scranton Prep.
And they have
We didn't have time to talk about that field goal, but that was a low snap and a lot going on there in the field goal. Huh?
Again, that's so critical that obviously the snap, we just got to make sure the Bucks were, I think they were trying to get some pressure up in there again.
So Dawkins back into the game. Seen him a lot tonight.
He's starting to, again, I know Coach Mills really likes him. There's it is on that
draw.
delay.
Stood up by TJ Holmes in the middle. Both teams have 2 timeouts left. Let's see if Prep will use them. And Velarde going to stretch out a little bit, maybe cramping.
All right, so we go with a little draw action. Up inside, number 70 folds up inside, but there's, wow, I'll tell you what, Velarde, he is a beast in there. We watched him at practice the other day, and he wow. The intensity that kid has and the fire that he brings for that defensive line.
Coming up at the half, the Toyota halftime news update, of course. We'll have that from the Fox 56 News 1st to 10. We'll talk to the folks from Outreach, and we'll hear from the Greater Scranton YMCA. That's coming up at the half here on MyTV. That's going to take us to the half. Clock ticks 0, and we'll go into halftime in week number 1 here on MyTV, and week number 1 around Northeastern and Central Pennsylvania of high school football. Our score here will be 10-0. Paul Grippy attempting to get Terry Gallagher. Both teams making mistakes, but Prep has capitalized more often, have a couple nice drives. We'll recap that. Jan and I come back after everything at halftime.
I'll tell you what, Dunmore has got, they're right there. It's an exciting game. Prep, I mean, you know, Leo, boy, you knew he's going to be out there. He's going to be that athlete.
Let's go down to Paul right now.
Okay, I'm with Scranton Prep head coach Terry Gallagher. Coach, how did you feel about the way your team played? 10-0 lead in the first half.
Not very good. Didn't think they played very well. Too many turnovers, or excuse me, too many penalties, which we talked about for 3 months. Just sloppy. Guys have to make sure they're accountable, make sure they communicate and talk. Didn't think we played very well in the first half at all.
Take some confidence in the 10-0 lead?
Yeah, we take confidence in the fact that defensively I thought we played pretty well. Offensively, there was some glimmers there. I thought that one drive where we scored on was very good, but you can't snap the ball over a guy's head 25 yards back. You can't be in 3rd and 28. Can't win footballs in games that way.
Okay, Coach, thanks a lot.
Thanks.
We'll talk to you later in the second half. Bob, leading 10-0 and not happy with the plays. So if they do turn it up, this game can open up a lot more.
Spoken like a guy who's only lost 3 games in 3 years and won 25. That's what you want to hear from the coach going into the half.
Well,
Cavaliers lead, Coach, 10-0 over the Bucks. So we come back. It's our halftime report here on MyTV and Friday Night Rivals.
Friday Night Rivals is brought to you in part by Toyota, Let's Go Places, Lucerne County Community College, Matt Burney Honda, Fidelity Bank, Keystone College, Manuka Subaru, Dunmore Drugstore, and the Greater Scranton YMCA.
Halftime back at Dunmore's Veterans Memorial Stadium. Scranton Prep leads the Dunmore Bucks 10-0, and I'm happy to be here on the sideline with the band behind me with 2 pretty cool ladies I'm getting to know a little bit. From Outreach, it's the Executive Director, Linda Champion. Thank you for joining us here. You have so much to tell us, some exciting things, but first of all, Outreach. Now, what is that? You've had a recent identity switch, right?
We have. We have been in Lackawanna County for 30 years. And just in June, recently, we changed our name from Employment Opportunity and Training Center to NEOTC. to Outreach, Center for Community Resources, because we just felt like it expressed a little bit better about clearly who we are.
Yeah, you're so involved in the community with families, children, parents, all those kinds of things. You're located in Scranton on 7th Avenue. The summer winding up, kids heading back to school, but over the summer, what were some of the programs you were able to run?
Well, we had a number of programs that we were supporting both families, both parents and children, where we were able to support them with getting school ready. So they were learning nursery rhymes and ABCs and just getting prepared to make them successful in school.
Yeah, that is so much fun. And I know summer vacation kids, at one point, they get bored. Well, not when they're involved in outreach. But, why specifically are we talking to them? They have a big event coming up, and that's why I'm going to talk to Eileen Miner from Thompson Tours about. She is the owner. Now, as part of Outreach, Thompson, working with Outreach, we're going to put people on a cruise in the Atlantic with Penn State football players, right?
We are. It's Thompson Tours and Abington Travel. Local agencies have partnered up to help raise some money for 5,000 children in this area. The Outreach Challenge, we all have to jump in and help out. We are doing it with the Paterno family and all of the Nittany stars, Franco Harris, Kajana Carter, a number of them, and they are all 100% for our local charity also, so we jumped in. We are giving a cabin. You've got to donate because your name will go in for a cabin, and you will go to the VIP reception with Franco Harris and the players, the sail away.
That is awesome. You get to go on a cruise ship with other Penn State fans and with famous Penn State football players. And she says Franco Harris, well, he's in every Hall of Fame that there ever was. Now, the only way to do that, $100 donation to Outreach. So how does it work? You get to enter a raffle for the drawing?
You get to enter for every $100 you donate. I mean, we'll give you one entry for every 100. I mean, you just don't have to donate 100. You can go in with 1,000. That's fine with us. But for every 100 you donate, your name will go in the raffle. And the lucky winners that are chosen will be at the VIP reception with all of the Penn State players and the Paterno family. They're all for this challenge.
What's the dates of the cruise?
It's March 4 to 8, 2019. It's on the Enchantment of the Seas, Royal Caribbean, to the Bahamas.
Okay, and so that leaves from Florida?
It leaves from Florida, yes.
And to the Bahamas and back. And it's football and it's cruising and it's good time.
It's going to be a beach party with the volleyball coach, Russ Rose. It's going to be belly flop contest at the pool, you name it.
Does Linda get to go?
Linda, I would hope to think so, yes.
Okay, so a $100 donation. How can people make the donation to get a chance to do this?
Right now to
What's the text? Go ahead.
50155. 50155, or go to outreachworks.org and make their pledge for $100. We'd really appreciate it. 5,000 kids need your help in Lackawanna County.
Oh, that's awesome. Imagine getting on that cruise. What a good time it would be. You're going to go be cruising, right?
I would hope so. It'd be fun.
Okay. Why Penn State? I mean, that sounds exciting to me, but how were you able to get that together?
Actually, it was Thompson Tours. They've been really supportive of us, and we're very, very privileged to have them really take on our challenge as part of their own.
Okay, so there you go. Support Outreach, a fantastic program. They did recently change their name, but if you give a $100 donation, you're in the drawing to go on a cruise in the winter with Penn State football players. One more time, what's the text number?
50155 to help 5,000 children.
Okay, if you send that text, you'll be charged with the donation, and you'll have a chance to get on that cruise, which sounds like a fantastic time. So thank you to Eileen from Thompson Tours. Thank you to Linda from Outreach, and we'll be back with more halftime right after this. Halftime of the Friday night rivalry game between Scranton Prep and Dunmore brings us to Dunmore still. We're at the Greater Scranton YMCA here in Dunmore, and the facility has been renovated and upgraded, and it looks spectacular. I have Trish Fisher with me and Megan Carnavale. And Megan, this has been about a $2 million project, ongoing, going to finish in a couple of months, but what all has been done to this facility?
So we finished up earlier this summer. We expanded our spin studio. So power cycling is one of our most popular group exercise classes. So we were able to almost double the amount of bikes that we're able to offer now. So we greatly expanded the spin studio. We created a universal locker room, which now has 12 private changing rooms. Previous to that, we only had one, so we're very excited about that. And we were able to create a new community room that will be used for youth programs, birthday parties, swim meets for concession stands, all that kind of fun stuff.
It's great. The facility looks great. You can smell the fresh paint in the air. It's been here many, many years, has been very popular, but with these renovations, it really takes it up to the premier facility in the area. Now, Trish joins me here also, and the Y offers more than just a wonderful facility for people to enjoy and exercise. It also offers education and health awareness and all different kinds of programs to teach and help people in those areas.
Right. Some of our fall events that are coming up are our Halloween party for the families that are members and non-members. Also, Christmas party coming up, and we have a health fair for seniors and an arts and crafts fair in December. We also are starting our 7th grade initiative once again, which is free membership to all 7th graders in the area, as long as they stick to the contract that they sign with us on working out and doing community service and having a C average.
Yeah, that's great. That's so much value for your membership here. The YMCA is not just a place to come and work out and leave. It's a place for the family. It's a place that offers so much more, especially they love children around here, don't you? I mean, they're saying, parents, bring your children with you. There's children here throughout the day.
Absolutely, yeah. So we serve infants through older adults. Obviously, we have our early childhood education, which serves infants through kids entering kindergarten, but we have before and after school gearing up now too. A ton of youth programs for kids after school, but we also have a ton of health initiatives as well. So we have a program for cancer survivors called Live Strong at the YMCA, a program for adults with prediabetes, the YMCA's prediabetes program, or excuse me, diabetes prevention program, and we have a program for older adults with arthritis called Enhanced Fitness. So we really do serve the entire family.
Yeah. You got all that? I mean, there is a lot going on here. It's less than a mile from the football stadium tonight. It's the Greater Scranton YMCA in Dunmore, and it's a fantastic facility, recently renovated, and a great place to be. So let's head back to Dunmore's Veteran Memorial Stadium as halftime continues.
And we are back live. Thank you, Paul, and thank you to the Greater Scranton YMCA for sponsoring tonight's game. And thank you to all the sponsors who are supporting WQMY tonight. Bob Ide and Jan Cechak back in the booth. Both teams on the field stretching and getting ready for the second half. And Coach, a touchdown by Leo Boyle on a nice run, so we see what he can do. But your impressions of him so far, overall, even through the passing game, he's looked okay.
He's looked all right, but again, we discussed earlier how when you're doing 7-on-7s and you go to camps, it's not quite the same as game speed, and Dunmore is doing a tremendous job covering those outside, so Leo's going to have to rely on his legs.
Prep added a field goal late by Butner, 30 yards, and 136 total yards overall for Scranton Prep. Ryan Cosgrove had a nice first half, ran the ball 14 times for 77 yards. On the opposite side, Dunmore, just 14 plays, 43 yards, still searching for that offense that they need.
Well, with this change to the RPO, the run-pass option, you need to really make sure you have a really stud running back there. Now, I know back in the day, Brett Triccolo was Mr. Dunmore, and he did a great job when he was at Wilkes. And that's the type of kid that you need with that one back that's durable, that's strong. And with Borgia, he was their receiver last year. He's playing quarterback. So there's a lot of internal pressure that these kids put upon themselves. One thing I'd like to see Dunmore do with their defensive linemen, I think to help create more mismatches, is to stay low. They've been getting caught standing up a little bit, and I know Coach McHale is a stickler on that. He does a tremendous job with the youth football, and that's how I really got to know him, because at Tunkhannock, we never really played Dunmore.
Yep.
So these guys, it's a great high school game, and we're getting ready for that kickoff. So hopefully Dunmore, who deferred, gets the opening kickoff now in the second half. Hopefully they can get one and get back into this game.
The Bucks' 29-game regular season winning streak is in jeopardy here. Last time they lost in the regular season was to Scranton Prep.
Wow.
So the Bucks will receive the second half kick. I don't see Jake Salk out there injured.
No, I
his leg.
saw him coming in on crutches, actually, which is unfortunate.
Unfortunately, so Dunmore next man up mentality. Buckner will tee it up.
And we got McDade and Borgia deep for the Bucks.
And what do you want to see from Dunmore for his first series? How important is it?
I think right now, Coach just wants, let's just get a first down. And then they just keep building from that. We know that they're not going to go for that home run ball. at this point in time. There's no need to. It's only 10-0, and there's a lot of football left. So I think they just want to make sure, and I'm sure Coach was in there, and Coach Mills was saying, look, let's drive, let's step, let's do the things that you've been coached to do.
Short kick taken by Tolley. He's ripped down by Johnson, and Dunmore's offense back on the field at the 26-yard line. Borges only threw a couple passes. A couple of those were off the mark, and they had a tough time even trying to run the ball as Tolley comes up shaking up a little bit. So here comes Borgia back out.
Seamus Caden, I think, is playing tackle now for Salka.
They're going to go to play action. Down the middle. He's got a guy. He just couldn't reach him. McDade had cut in.
Wow.
And Borgia just didn't have the arm strength to reach him.
Well, I don't think I'm going to say anything anymore because I said they were not going to go deep, and that was a nice play. Borgia just, again, get your feet set. If you watch, coming back. All right, feet set, step. Kind of, if you look, his release was a little bit, and that's why. And number 8, McDade was open. He beat the secondary. So I think that's something, but they really set that up really nice.
I think Prep secondary didn't think they were going to throw that long either.
Again, they had the trap look up front with the guard pulling.
Back to the traditional eye and back to Buckley, and no running room at all. Great hit in the backfield. That was Mitchell Simon, the senior.
That was that power G scheme that we'll see in.
DeBilio also 63 on defense, shooting inside. So not much going on for the Buck offense here tonight.
Well, again, we got to give Prep credit. They're 4-4. They're big. They're strong kids, and they're right now. Dunmore's offensive line is completely inexperienced, and somebody jumped on the offensive line right now. They just have to settle down and do what Dunmore does best, and that's play football.
And that's that one scrimmage thing too.
Yeah.
When you have this much inexperience, boy, you really want that 2 scrimmages.
Oh, you do, especially with that next man up mentality, as we like to call it.
Third and long coming up. Jeff Mills going to give the play to his junior quarterback. Dunmore next week take on Mid-Valley. Right here. Again, the Lackawanna Football Conference has changed a little bit this year, gone to 4 divisions. Dunmore remains in the 3 divisions, but they
good time.
Big time.
Borgia, nice.
Borgia down in and out of the hands of Dawkins.
Wow, that was great pass protection from his line. Boy, did they form a nice pocket. Borgia stepped up and he fired a bullet. That's the one coaches are going, all right, now that Borgia looks good, offensive line did a nice job.
Grady on the defensive play, number 30, and Buck's going to be punting again. So Prep should get good field position to begin this first possession. Odell back deep. Low kick. Odell comes up. Nice catch by him, and you see it right at midfield. Leo Boyle and the Cavaliers take the field.
With Prep on that one, I was a little surprised. I thought that they would have sent a lot of more pressure than they did. They just did like basically a 7-man hold. Borgia was only like a 10.5 yards deep, so that's why I thought they would really have put a little bit more pressure on him.
So we heard Terry Gallagher going into the half. If you missed that, he was not happy with his team, even though they were up 10-0.
No, again, as a coach, you always want to make sure your kids are playing almost a perfect game. And as he said, the turnovers really hurt them. He felt that they should be up, obviously, more than they are.
Cosgrove's having a nice night. Going to add to that.
Nice 15-yard gain on that.
15 more yards for Cosgrove.
Here we go on this. That's what we would call our outside zone play. He just did a real nice job. They washed it down, and he just took off with that.
You see Belardi stretching out a little bit. They will take another water break, and Belardi's coming up limping. Very hot night tonight, as you expect in the first week, as we start in August.
And how many rain days do we have where it was cool? And then even this week, it's only been a high of 70.
Cosgrove again, right through the middle.
Cosgrove, wow.
Holds on to the ball. Add 15 more, and he's over the century
79.
mark.
Connor James is now down on the ground, who is their center.
30 yards, the last 2 plays for this kid right there.
If you look right there, again, they're just going to start. They're starting to try to keep it in the tackles. When we talk about that zone play, they're just trying to run that. He's going to read it and then cut back. He's going to take whatever the defense is giving him. All right, so that's a good thing that we're seeing. Just a cramp on the right side prep player. I can't see the number.
That's Belardi.
That's
Belardi was cramping
so
up.
Cramping.
And you see Connor James on the ground.
I think his is more of an ankle. I hope it's really nothing.
So here's the so both teams have come in with success. For Prep, 3 straight District 3A championships. 1 under Nick Donato, 2 under Terry Gallagher, and that's quite a 3-year record, 37-5.
How about Coach Gallagher right there, 25-3. That is a tremendous accolades to Prep and his coaching, him and his coaching staff. I mean, what's expected of those kids from Prep. I mean, Coach Donato started it, and Coach Gallagher is just perpetuating what is expected of the Cavaliers.
So here are the teams competing in 3A for District 2. Scranton Prep in there. Western Wayne is going to be very good this year, Coach. Lake Lehman, always powerful. Wyoming area is winning tonight. Holy Redeemer Hanover Lakeland moves up a notch. GAR and Myers playing their last year as 2 different schools.
Well, I'm looking at that schedule, and when I was at Tunkhannock, we played Prep, we played Lehman, we played Wyoming area. We didn't play Redeemer. They're playing them this year. Hanover, we scrimmaged against. Western Wayne, they've been very, very big the last few years. Myers always had speeds. Same with GAR. Lakeland, I know that they're bumped up. My former offensive coordinator is now up there with Lakeland with Coach Wasilchek, who was the head coach at Trail when he played there.
So that will be an 18 playoff.
That's great football there. There's no slouches.
No slouches at all. Prep the defending champions, as we still have James still on. No, this is still Belardi working out the cramps. So Dunmore's road a little bit easier. Carbondale, Mid-Valley, Riverside, and Susquehanna. 5 teams in that 2A, and 14 make the playoff. So
and now Riverside, Harry's back there right
Harry
now.
Armstrong's
He's
back.
back
And they're
there.
winning tonight over Myers.
Yeah, and they're big. Susquehanna is always scrappy. Mid-Valley, Dave Rebar does a great job. I know that he always struggles to get kids. Carbondale, I'll tell you, I watched them on a couple films last year, and if they come to play, they can be really good. But Dunmore is, again, the top of that league, and rightly so.
So there's a couple District 2 looks at them. So, other teams have moved around as well in the districts 6A. And as Belardi still remains on the turf, we'll take a quick timeout here. 10:05 remaining in the third. We are back at Dunmore, and on the play for Scranton Prep, we had a fumble. Of course, we have a new center in there. We didn't get a number yet. Connor James went out. Belardi came off the turf walking, but he's still cramping up. So a couple backups in there now for Prep on the offensive line.
Well, Belardi, you saw the trainers pulled out the rolling stick to try to work that cramp out. Trying to see 68. Number 68 is the new center. That's TJ Holmes.
So Holmes moves over to center. Off the edge. Nice job by Harity coming down to stop Johnson. And yep, they'll shuffle around the offensive line a little bit for the Cavaliers.
Now, if you watch right here, they're just playing what we would call oil on inside linebacker, a base man front, and they just went with that straight dive coming up inside zone.
Paul Ruddy in there, a senior, number 58, and he takes over for Belardi. It's 73 in there as well. Lowe, he's a junior, 235. He goes over where Holmes played. Low snap. Here comes the rush. They get it out to Cosgrove.
Yep, back out. That's always, that's your check down.
11-yard gain, another first down for the Cavaliers, and it'll be first and goal. It's Scranton Prep.
It looked to me like they were trying to run a flood pattern. There's the out. Yep. They went, so you have a long, medium, and a short route, and the short route obviously was Cosgrove out of the backfield. Dunmore did a nice job with the long and medium routes, so that was the only option left. Power eye backfield, Bob. What do you think?
Well, they're giving the ball off, or you never know. O'Boyle keeps the ball. He's already done it once, and he does. Little play action, wide open in the flat. Touchdown, Mitchell Simon for Scranton Prep, 10 yards.
If you look here, they went with that. That's what I call the power pass. Quarterback.
Fake Dunmore out.
Yep. If you watch, he was the power back, and he just slips right out.
No one out there to get him. Valvano a little late on the coverage.
Yeah.
Prep extends their lead now. Butner on to cap off this 50-yard drive.
I have a sneaking suspicion that Coach Gallagher was probably, if they stuffed that one, he was going to come back with a bootleg towards us with power eye right and bootleg left with Leo because, again, it was a shorter field, and he showed that he can run the ball. Buckner
so a nice drive set up by Cosgrove. He had 2 carries in there for 30 yards on the first 2 carries. And really, that comes down to the offensive line. Even when they went out, Coach, the 2 guys, they still played well. They held tough. And the offensive line for Scranton Prep gets that score.
And when you have your center go down, another guy go down with cramps, you put 2 new guys in, then they finish that. That's a nice job of those kids getting in there and getting the job done. The Resident is a powerful drama which follows the inner workings of a large-scale hospital. The series explores the behind-the-scenes secrets of hospital staff and board members and the medical malpractice and questionable medical ethics that take place every day. The Resident returns Monday, September 24th, only on Fox 56.
Terry Gallagher, 25 and 3 seasons. He was an assistant coach under Nick Donato. And he's brought that same tough mentality last couple years for the Cavaliers. Has them working in the weight room, and they are a big, strong team.
And Bob, one of the things, they really don't have a feeder program.
Nope.
They've got these kids that, well, okay, now we're going to pay to go to high school. And Coach Gallagher, I know, does a tremendous job. All the football coaches up in this area do. We all want the best, and it comes down to dedication in that weight room in the off season. I was really impressed with both these teams, the size of their actual sophomores when I was looking over the rosters. They're solid kids. They're not roly-poly kids. They're all solid kids. And, Coach Gallagher, being an assistant coach with Coach Donato, I mean, he learned a lot, and he's implementing what he wants, and he's reaping the rewards.
Fake to Buckley that's trying to get Borgia out. He does it. It's right into the hands of a Scranton Prep defensive back, Odell, with the INT.
He was trying to get that ball to Dunmore's number 5, George Mesco, and Carter Odell just broke on the inside of that for that interception. That is one of the hardest things to have a right-handed quarterback do, is roll to your left and try to throw across your body.
Especially, Borgia, inexperienced.
Yep.
First varsity game underneath center. He played all last year and played exceptional. It's a lot different, though, when you're behind center. So this brings out the offense, the Cavaliers, and their line is starting to dominate Dunmore. Look, quick handoff. Nice, tough running by Simon. Scranton Prep trying to say we want to win 4 straight district titles as well, just like Dunmore did in 2A.
You watch that right there. They were just trying to run a 31 trap. That's what we would have coined it. Our fullback would be the 30 series. They were running the one. The right guard was pulling to the left side. Just tough running up inside right now. Cosgrove is single back.
That hole,
good job,
was there for a second, closed quickly. Good job by the Bucks. Seal gets off the bottom. It's Mesco on the bottom.
Yep. Louis LeCapro was in there anchoring that inside, as was Anthony Cashmere. Again, if those guys can play stout in there, stay low, and hold their ground, they're going to have to bounce that to the outside. And when you have George Mesco and Tolley playing real well and Billy Don Vito, that's what you want to do. Leo with the quarterback.
Boyle doesn't get the push like he did last time. They're going to mark it short, I think.
Close.
They're going to half yard
They're
short.
They're saying 4th. Yep. Good eyes, Bob.
He didn't really get the push he needed that time and couldn't get any traction on his feet, I think. To get that big body out in front. You're going to go back to the same thing, I think, right? You're a coach?
I would. Hey, 6'7". If he falls forward and you only need half a yard, it's right there. I think they call that fuzzy math sometimes.
Up quickly.
Yep.
There it is. Better push that time. Quick snap and a first down.
That was key to it, Bob. You called that, the quick snap.
Prep now starting to push around Dunmore here late in this, midway through, I should say, this third quarter.
Well, again, I think Dunmore missing Saka now, having your captain, a 3-year starter both ways, that's tough. It's that power eye again. Let's see. You think they're going to snap? All right, split back.
Fake the inside and go out to Johnson. Johnson slips a tackle. It's a touchdown, but there's a flag back at the line of scrimmage. It's illegal motion. This one's going to be called back.
That's nullified. Now, it was interesting on that. They ran with the power back to the right. Tailback went to the right. The fullback, he was the one that slipped out. That was a nice job.
Didn't see where the motion was, but the referee threw it. Well, this one's coming back.
Christian Buckley was in good position to do that, and they're stressing now a lot of the rugby-type tackles. If you notice that where Christian had his head, he had it behind. He didn't have it in front, and he did wrap, but, that comes down to the weight room, that's tough. That always hurts when a play gets called back.
Well, Terry Gallagher won't be happy with that.
No, again.
Because you take a score off the board, right?
And it's a mental error, and that's the tough part.
Fake it, inside slant, almost taken in by Greco. He had that, he taken down. And a shot for the Bucks to pull it in, but couldn't.
They do a tremendous job with the ride on that fullback, and you got a slant corner, or a post corner, excuse me, coming off that. That just freezed number 4, He just hesitated a slight bit, and again, he could have been in Leo's face possibly, but
second and long. Boyle surveying, going to be flushed out.
oh,
Gets it to Greco, makes a nice catch on the sideline and tiptoes in for the touchdown.
I'll tell you what, Charles Valvano on Dunmore broke on that ball, and that's what happens when you are just playing very aggressive. If you watch this play right now, he breaks to the ball, and Greco just happened to be right in back of him. And that's just, here's a better view of it. Look at this, how he breaks to the ball. That was good. Oh, tremendous job by Greco. Leo O'Boyle threaded that in there.
So Prep converts another Dunmore turnover into
yep.
points. Second time tonight they've done that. It's 14 points off of 2 turnovers. 29-yard drive. Butner in. Gets it through. And now Prep up 24-0. And Dunmore, when they meet these Cavaliers, just cannot find any offense and find any points.
Well, it's hard when you turn the ball over that much. Like Coach Gallagher said at his halftime interview, and you know right now, Coach Mills and Coach McHale are saying, guys, we got to stop the turnovers. We've given up 14 points on this. So, and then the penalties, they do add up, unfortunately, and we're going to be okay. And Dunmore, again, they've been down this road before where they're playing up. They're playing a more powerful school, and it doesn't really detract from their playoff runs.
Maybe it got on at the right time for District 2, because if you look at this 4A bracket where Tunkhannock is now, it's just loaded.
I didn't know what the schedule was going to be.
And 8 make the playoffs.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, okay.
Valley View, the defending champion.
Yep, and they're playing squaring off with Berwick next week. Crestwood runs a single wing. Honesdale was huge. They're back to a wing T. I can't remember. They brought one of their old-time coaches back, and he changed their offense. They're doing a tremendous job. Nanacoke lost a lot of kids last year that were good.
West Scranton's beating North Polka tonight. Pittston area's winning. Wyoming area's winning.
Yep.
Dallas beating your Tunkhannock, old
Yep.
Tunkhannock team.
Yep.
Abington losing to Berwick. We'll have Valley View and Berwick at the end of September in the rematch of last year's district title game down at
Crispin
Field. That should be a dandy.
Oh, it's going to be a tremendous game.
We'll take a look at our schedule coming up. We got some great games on tap coming for you right here on my TV.
And it was interesting. Montrose is now considered a Quad A school because they pulled Elk Lake and Blue Ridge, I believe it is, football players into that program. So that boosted their numbers. And they're in the mid-50s.
Great kick by Butner this time all the way down to the goal line. And that's our first touchback of the night. That's a big weapon if you have a kicker who can do that.
I always tease my kickers. I said, you know, I could play on the kickoff team if you could kick the ball into the end zone. And I'll tell you what, that just helps so much. It makes a long field, 80 yards to go. You don't have to worry about a missed tackle.
And I know you chuckled underneath your breath a little bit when I put him as an impact player. I know, a kicker. You put a kicker as an impact player?
A kicker?
He's got a field goal, and he's got how many extra points? 3?
Yeah, and a field goal.
Just kicked into the end zone.
Yeah, well, I'm
just saying, Coach.
Bob, I know you know Prep very well. And
it's not just Prep.
No, I know. But with no disrespect towards kickers, my youngest son Charles was a kicker, and so. You, again, you are like sensei, oh, wise one.
Nowhere to go. Prep getting some clean jerseys in there now. Underclassmen getting in some playing time here early on in the season. And that was Dawkins who
gained a tough 1 yard.
Now, if you're Dunmore, you came in with a lot of confidence. You were a confident team all the time. Do you have to get a little bit of confidence now as we go toward? We still have a quarter and a half to play, believe it or not.
You want to say you're going to start playing for respect. You guys, again, the expectations of Dunmore Buck football is to give it everything you got on every single play, but just play one play at a time. And that's all I think they have to do right now. Borgia just has to relax it, which he's been doing. Again, right there, nice job with that inside power. So now they got third, something that's manageable. Right up there, you see 75 lead, fullback lead blocks. Number 75's coming over for the pull to try to get that extra man up inside there.
So 24 unanswered points for Prep tonight. Dunmore's offense has been stagnant, to say the least. Haven't done much in the first half and really haven't done anything here in the second either.
Well, you lose 4 offensive linemen, then you lose your captain. That, and they're all young underclass guys. And you have a new quarterback, and they're trying to implement a little bit of a newer system, something that they're not really comfortable with yet. The one nice thing about the RPO is that you can get acclimated pretty quick, and it will start to flow. Right now, Dunmore just has to do what they do best, and that's play great football, and they're going to just have to do it one play at a time. There you go.
DeVito,
Nice.
run a nice last year. Up close to a first down past the 40.
Hey, coming in 2nd and 1. Watch this little G scheme right here. There's the tackle down.
I mean, DeVito, 634 yards last year, 9 touchdowns. Had 117 carries. He's an option, and there you got Buckley now, Dawkins. All starts up front, though. They get the offensive line under control, and they do.
And one nice thing that I've seen from the Dunmore sideline, they're not screaming at their kids. They're just encouraging, making sure, come on, just settle down. We got this. Let's just do Dunmore football. We can't worry about, at this point, being 24 points down. Let's just try to get a touchdown and get some respect.
Clock stops. We're in the 3rd quarter here. It's been a long quarter. We've had some injuries and some cramping going on, so it's really taken a while to get through this quarter.
Well, the officials said they were going to stop to get a water break for these guys.
Yeah.
To make sure that they are hydrated. And we said earlier, it is a little bit warmer out than normal. Dunmore in the I backfield. There's that counter tray. All right, lead
Dawkins,
up inside.
Nice run by Dawkins up there midfield. Dunmore getting things going now. We have an injured
number
Prep,
11.
Number 11, number for Scranton Prep on the turf now. But good running room for Dawkins. Showed some nice speed in there.
Coming up inside. There's that guard tackle coming over. And they just washed everything. The right side of the line pushes down. Those pulling guard and tackle come and they clean up anything they see in a white jersey.
That was Aiden Holzman who went down briefly for Scranton Prep number 11.
Looked like he just ran back
twisted
out.
His, yep.
Yeah, he's okay. At this point in the game, I don't think they feel any pain.
No. This time Buckley, no room in there at all. I see Velarde back in, number 53 for the Cavaliers after cramping up. And we talk about Johnson, 125 tackles last year in there. Once again, number 6.
And TJ Holmes came flying in there. That time they're still playing their 4-4, but they brought an extra man up, one of their outside linebackers, to give them that 5-3 look inside. So again, that changes, and we've talked about this with Prep, the way they run that aggressive defense. You never know who's coming. So that kind of then puts a little bit of doubt in that offensive lineman's head. Okay, I thought I was going to get this guy. And that's where I think Prep has been pretty successful against them. Double tight wing.
Dawkins skating around. It's going to be close. The line just didn't get the push they needed. Prep was right there, standing them up. They're going to be short.
That's
4th and short, you're going for it.
Yeah, I would imagine, especially at 5 seconds.
Yep.
That's the quarter right now.
You're going to go for it. Dunmore's going to have the ball on 4th down. Will return, but Scranton Prep added on to their lead. They lead this one, 24-0.
This is Friday Night Rivals on MyTV WQMY.
You're watching Friday Night Rivals on MyTV WQMY.
They're the Scranton Prep cheerleaders, sponsored by Sushi Thai Hibachi in Dunmore, one of our great sponsors here tonight. We're back at Dunmore Veterans Memorial Stadium. 12 minutes on the clock, fourth quarter getting underway. Bob I, Jancicek, Paul Grippy on the sidelines joining us tonight. Fourth down,
Fourth and
for
one.
the Bucks.
Bad
fumble.
snap.
And whoever comes up with it's not going to matter because they didn't get the first down, and Prep will take over on downs. It was actually TJ Holmes who got it, so it's a Prep recovery.
Just pulled out a little bit too soon. He's got to keep that upper hand pressure on that, ride that center, especially on that play right there.
I hope no one is letting Coach Henzis watch the game.
I
Because you
would
know
agree.
he's just sitting there.
And you know that, well, I don't know how he is technology-wise, but boy, you know this.
He's watching the game. Take a deep breath, Coach. He'll be all right.
Yeah, and again, speedy recovery to Coach
Our best
Henzis.
wishes to Coach. Prep with their first offense back out, up 24-0. Cosgrove over 100 yards. Cero wraps him up quickly.
Good job. Good job, Dunmore.
So Sanacero in there.
Now, I know Coach Mills, for Dunmore, he did say that this was going to be a challenge for him offensively tonight. But that's a nice job. Look at that. Those guys wrapping, they maintain their gap integrity, and they just peeled off and made a great play in there. Good job, Dunmore.
Dunmore. One thing you'll see from a Dunmore team is they won't give up.
No.
Doesn't matter what the score is.
There's that
Play
fake
action.
inside.
Get it out into the flat. Nice catch and run. Nice catch out there by the tight end, Matt Pera.
They just slip him right on out. It wasn't, I was expecting more of a bootleg action with Leo. Maybe that's something that they're waiting to do later on as the season progresses. But having that big, tall quarterback, especially when he's rolling to his right.
Well, if Prep can get a running game going, it will open up the passing game, right?
Oh, big time. Big time.
And they have that tonight with Cosgrove, over 100 yards for him. They give it to him right now.
And I think a lot of teams, and maybe Coach Gallagher's thought is, you know what, we're gonna come out with that passing threat of our 6'7" quarterback, and then that will open up the running game for them. Where most teams will, hey, let's pound the ball to open up our pass game. So I guess Coach Gallagher he's doing an RPO. Does he want to run, pass? That's his options right now.
Nice job by his assistants as well.
Oh,
Because Coach Gallagher, a good defensive coach.
Well, he calls the defense, I believe, correct?
Yep. Read that one right to Cosgrove
right
with a gap.
Look at that. He just ran number 60 over. Louis LaCapra, you know, who's a pretty stout young man. Just that inside zone.
Capra had him at 280, just couldn't wrap him up. So a face mask going to be called, a flag down on that one against Dunmore for grabbing the helmet of, I think it was the running back Cosgrove. So that will give them 5 yards and a first down.
It's that incidental, which is, it's not a good thing, but it's better than the 15-yard personal foul.
Next week, Prep starts just 3-game schedule against bigger schools. They'll go to Scranton, then host Abington, then play Valley View.
Ooh.
So a tough first 4 games for this Cavalier team. Handoff and room for Cosgrove.
That's that outside zone right there.
Rovano on the stop, but not after 7 yards for Ryan Cosgrove, the senior. Prep now is just starting to have their way with Dunmore. Early on in this game, you know, back and forth they went. It was only 7-0, 10-0 at the half.
Yep.
14 more unanswered now for a Prep, and they're trying to add on to that. Cosgrove breaking tackles and getting inside the 5.
That inside zone, again, if you notice, if you watch the replay, you'll see that the entire offensive line all stepped to their right at the same time. They're all taking on the first man, and Cosgrove now has a choice of where to go. That's the hardest part of teaching the offensive lineman. Stay with your block. The running back may cut back. That's why you don't want to go to second or third level.
So we looked at the district.
Mesco's down right now. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Mesco is down. You see the
he's
you saw the cramping. So we'll take a look at some of the Lackawanna League new divisions. Abington moving up to new Division 1. North Polk, I should say, moving up. Abington dropped down to 4A. So you have a couple 6As in there and Walpapak as well.
Yep. And again, Keith Olsmer he's been at Delval, does a tremendous job. Scranton has always been tough. Abington Heights, Joey Repchis is he's building that program back up. They kind of the last couple years went down a little bit. Doc Watson up at Wallenpaupack, he's got some big dudes this year. And North Pocono, I mean, again, I couldn't believe when I went to the media day how big their kids are.
Yep.
I was just astounded. And
Ray Dolan, yep.
Yeah. When I say how big they were, it was they're 6'3", 6'4", but the way that these kids have been bought into the programs and how they've been lifting.
First and goal after the Cosgrove run. Mesco came off. Looks all right. Ryan Cosgrove, touchdown, Scranton Prep once again. The Manuka Subaru touchdown for Scranton Prep. Cosgrove will definitely be one of our players of the game. And as you see,
Velarde.
Nope, that's
I'm sorry.
63.
That's
Debilio.
Debilio. Right there, it's just the power eye left, and they just run power, which is basically designed to run off the guard tackle gap. They do a nice job sealing that down, and they just walked into the end zone. I mean, hard running. That was you know, I thought Prep being up 24-0, they would feel pretty good. But they're putting the pedal to the metal right now.
Butner again, right through. He's made them all tonight. 31-0 your score, 8:29 left in the game. Welcome back to Dunmore's Veterans Memorial Stadium. Scranton Prep adding another score after Ryan Cosgrove, over 150 yards rushing tonight, having a breakout game. A lot of credit I know he'll give to his offensive line because they've come in and they're starting to dominate Dunmore.
The offensive line has taken over, Bob. They really have. And that's always tough. Well, he's done a great job getting them in great field position, and then, again, being unselfish, someone else gets the touchdown, but he just keeps coming and doing his thing.
This is McDade. He's knocked down around the 20.
Yep.
Let's see who comes back out. Let's see who comes out for Dunmore. A lot of kids cramping up on the sidelines, and maybe check that out on both sides of the ball. It's a hot night.
Yep.
Again, they have that heat acclimation, and when they did that, I think this year, it was 90. And then it's been cool this week. So
well, they had the one, I think there was just maybe 1 or 2 days where it was really that hot balmy, but then it drops down. And that seems to be the cycle. They call it heat-ack, and it's a cooler week, and then when you get into the first week, it's usually 80 or 90. I'm looking at number 70, Anthony Cashmere for Dunmore and Louis LaCapra. Again, now these two guys are going both ways.
Yep.
So again,
Buckley nowhere to go.
These guys, again, especially being offensive linemen, that takes a major toll out of you.
Oh yeah, because we got a prep player down. Ready? Here's the replay.
Right there, toss play. And it's just, it's. Well, I know that's nothing new for Dunmore to run that play.
Para looks like he's cramping up, and it gives us time now. Paul Grippy talking basketball here already in August.
Okay, Bob, I pulled a special young lady out of the Dunmore Bucks bleacher. I have senior Victoria Toomey with me, and you notice she's a little taller than I am. Just a little, and that helps in what she does. She plays basketball.
Yep.
Now, you had an exciting week here, and we don't normally hear about this kind of thing in late August, but you agreed to a basketball scholarship at Ryder.
Yep.
How did that come to happen for you?
Well, I visited early August, and I kind of just fell in love with the school, and then we went back this past week, and I went with my whole family, and we all kind of just decided, like, this was the place for me. So, I mean, I love it, and I love the coaching staff and everything, so I'm excited.
That's awesome. You've had such a great career here for Dunmore, still have your senior year to go, but it really wasn't until maybe your junior year that you started getting attention from schools on the level of Ryder. When did it suddenly hit you with this attention?
Probably the end of this past season with our state run. A lot of schools started reaching out. Before then, I had some interest, but nothing from the level of Ryder. So that was exciting. And I mean, since middle school, I've known I wanted to go Division I if possible. And it's crazy. It doesn't seem real.
Yeah, well, Dunmore's been on the radar of Ryder because the head coach of the men's team at Ryder used to be the guy from Dunmore, Tommy Dempsey. He's in Binghamton now, but a lot of Ryder fans here in Dunmore. Now, you're going to major in sports management. What do you hope to do with that degree?
Well, my goal is to become an agent of some sort, but if not, I'm also looking into law. So if I go to law school to do sports law or something like that.
Okay, that's great. A career in sports is always exciting. And why did you decide now? I mean, you just visited some schools, but most students will decide maybe in November or around that time. Why so early?
I think definitely it was just the right fit, and it just felt like the right time to do it. I knew that's where I wanted to go, so it's nice to have that weight off my shoulder going into the school year, but also I was so excited about the school that I thought, why not just commit now?
Okay, and it's going to be so much fun your senior year. I'm sure you're already training for it.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, we've been working out with the team, and we're really excited.
Okay, so congratulations, Victoria Toomey, a senior at Dunmore and has a basketball scholarship to Ryder. Bob, that's Division I. Pretty impressive and great for this young lady.
Yep, good luck to her and her family.
Congratulations.
And Dunmore Lady Bucks will be pretty good this year with her and some other ones. Made a run last year. So the Bucks still have their first teamers out there trying to get anything going, get some momentum. Again, neither team has large squads, players. And the amount of players they had in the past, maybe in the 40s, they were 30, 40.
Well, I counted 49 for prep, and Dunmore had about 51 because there were 2 or 3 kids that were walking around in jerseys. So I'm not sure. I assume they're on the team. But when you don't have like 2 platoons, you got to play your best 11. And Stan Kowarski said that last week about, hey, we got to make sure the next man up mentality's there.
So they give it to Don Vito. Velarde, who was out before, makes the tackle. Also in there, Jay Gavely. Well, Dunmore next week again hosts Mid-Valley. They have 3 straight home games, which is unusual. Then they have Carbondale here. Then they head to Lackawanna Trail. That's a very tough game. They're beating Northwest tonight. Riverside, Old Forge in there. Then they go up to Montrose, Susquehanna here, and then end on the road at Western Wayne and Lakeland. So
wow.
not an easy schedule for the Bucks this season.
Especially those last 2 games. Western Wayne, like from what I remember from last year, they were a big, solid team. And I know Lakeland, according to the Scranton Times, it could be that dark horse that if they come together and gel and they have a really good receiver, it's going to be interesting.
So time now for our Keystone College trivia question of the night, Coach. Of course, we talked about early on, Prep beat Dunmore in 2015, 26-0. What record did the Bucks finish with? And then how far did they get? We'll give you time.
Do I get the Jeopardy music?
That's Paul's in charge of music. I don't know if you do that.
I'll probably say they probably had the one loss. And how far did they go in 2015? I'll say quarterfinals of states.
Okay. Well, we'll get the question after this. Cosgrove's still in there. Up 31-0. Terry Gallagher still playing his starters. He's moved some guys around up front.
Here comes some younger offensive linemen.
So the Keystone College question, are we going to get the answer now?
Prep beat Dunmore 2000. I'll say 14
okay.
14-1 and 14-2. Oh, state title. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, they went on a big-time run.
Yeah.
Won 12 in a row before losing to South Fayette.
Well,
with that great quarterback in the state title game. So, hey, Dunmore fans, don't worry about
that's
this.
What I'm
Things
saying.
are going to bounce back.
And again, they're playing above their class in terms of PIAA, and nothing for them, Dunmore, to hold their heads, hang their heads about.
Oh, we backup quarterback in. Got some new guys in now.
Yep.
Oh, and a bad snap. Not a way for
well,
Grady to want to start.
No, it's not. But you know what? Coach Gallagher at this point in the game, 5 minutes left, you don't want to keep your starters out there and risk having a stupid ankle turn or something like that. And it gives these kids a chance to get some game experience.
Well, the other thing is, too, not a lot of teams have JV programs anymore because of the lack of players out there. So you need to get some experience in there, don't you?
No, you do. One of the things we did when I was at Tunkhannock, I kept the 9th graders because I wanted them to gel, and you're going to see that the next couple of years how well they're going to do because of that. This past season, we did put in a JV team, but again, when you only have 16 kids that you're sending to a JV, you're really rolling the dice in terms of injury. But those kids do, like you said, Bob, those kids do need to get experience.
Marcel Fida, a freshman in there. Paul Grippy, what do you have? Where are you?
Hey, Bob, you were talking about that opening night game in 2015 where Prep beat Dunmore, and that's Dunmore's last regular season loss. 29 wins in a row for Dunmore in the regular season. But how about this? Prep's last regular season loss was also on an opening night, 2016, against Abington. So Prep's had 19 regular season wins in a row. So both of these teams coming in with streaks, but Dunmore's last regular season loss was to Prep up on an opening night. I don't think the Bucks will be scheduling the Cavs for a season opener anytime soon.
Well, I think they have them next year because this is a 2-year cycle.
Yeah, they'll get that changed. You watch.
Well, I don't think they. Here's the thing. I don't think they have anything to do with it, Paul. I don't think it's not you get to pick. It's not college football. They kind of pick for you.
It's a good old-fashioned rivalry because many years ago, well, when you and I were kids, this was Prep's home field.
That's
so
right.
Dunmore would play on a Friday, Prep would play on a Saturday, and once in a while, if Dunmore was away, Prep would get that Friday night. But Scranton Prep, a lot of their parents who went to school back in the 80s, remember this as the home field.
Very true, Paul.
Interesting, Paul. Thank you for that info.
All right.
Because I did have someone ask me saying, well, was that a Prep home game? and no, Prep plays at Scranton Memorial Stadium.
That's right.
Now, so on Saturdays. But that's a fair question.
So right now, Coach Mills is trying to get his second teamers out there, make sure they're organized, make sure that they know what needs to be done. They're not going to try doing anything crazy. Right now, let's count, make sure we have 11 hats. And I know this is not how Coach Hens foresaw this game or even this entire coaching staff, but you know what? These guys from Dunmore, as the trivia beat me on, you know, this is just one game of many for these guys, and it's a good starting block to go against probably one of the premier teams that we're going to see this year.
Well, as I keep telling our crew, this is a marathon, not a sprint. This
Correct.
is a long season. And next week we have a battle of District 4 3A teams, the two teams that met last year in the 3A final for District 4. Then we have Hazleton, Dallas, Shamokin, Henry Hanoski coming back to Southern Columbia, Williamsport with Potts going to Minnesota at Crest, and then we have Valley View Berwick, a rematch last year of the 4. Boy, who picked the schedule?
I'll tell you what, that it must be the same guy that picked the kicker as one of the players to watch tonight.
I just, you know
great
what?
job, Bob. No,
well,
really, that's
you know,
this is great high school football.
Well, we'll see. You know, you pick the schedule when you do it, when you, I don't know, June, May, you know, because you have to get some sales in. You know, and you're like, okay, these teams it could be a good game, but they just don't know. I mean, you know, that's why the subject to change. We'll give you the best games as the year goes out. I mean, this is a good game early on, right?
Oh, it is.
At halftime, it was just 10-0. Dunmore was still in it, got the ball. And then Prep just kind of muscled away at Dunmore.
And you know, again, I keep saying about Jake Salka getting hurt. You know, it's unfortunate. He's already got it looks like an air cast on his right leg, and he's on crutches, you know, but he was their captain. He was offensive, defensive tackle, especially at that left tackle spot. There's that little, all right, Power G, get upside. There you go. All right.
Well, Jeff Mills going to get back to work tomorrow, I'm sure. Get that Mid-Valley film. Ready for the Spartans and Dave Rebar.
There's no rest for the weary, that's for sure. And again, the nicest thing is the advent of the huddle program that the high school coaches use. You post it, and you can get to work right away.
What was your schedule now after a game?
My schedule, I would upload our film. I would leave the school probably around 11:30 once it was uploaded, so that way I could share it with the other coach of the upcoming team and my players. Saturday morning, I'd be at the school at 6:30. The players would show up for Medicare, is what we called it, if they needed any medical treatment. They'd have to be there by 8:30. We'd start our team meeting from 9 to 10:30. Then we'd go down to the weight room, and then we would just do light conditioning and get the lactic acid out from Friday night. Sundays were off, the coaching staff. I gave the coaches Sundays off, especially with the huddle program, because you can watch film at home. And then Monday was back to the regular, what we called the grind. We did have a few JV games, so then we'd be light on the varsity schedule. Tuesdays full gear, Wednesday full gear. Thursday we would go uppers and do a lot of our special teams. And then Friday kickoff again, and that's why they call it the grind, because it's like Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
It really is.
So we get I think a Keystone College timeout. Both teams coming over to the sidelines. Keno in there now, quarterback for the Dunmore Bucks. So our grind starts again as we get back at it. Great job by the crew tonight, as we have 10 regular season games for you, then some playoff games. Another great job by the Fox 56 Sports crew here on MyTV WQMY. Friday Night Rivals. And this is quite a rivalry. We'll have one next week and a couple of them throughout the season. Don't forget, during the week, on Thursday, you can see Coach Seachak and Stan Kaharski and myself on our video vlog, Friday Night Rivals vlog. We'll preview our big game of the week. Plus, we'll talk about some of the area big games as well. You can see that on Twitter, on Fox 56 on Sports. You can see it on Facebook, Fox 56 and MyTV. And also on our website, fox56.com. Nice job.
And a preview of next week's game, which Coach Kaharski and Bob will be covering. What's interesting, I found talking to the two coaches, the head coaches there, they both lost their defensive coordinators to become head coaches. So, and they both had very stingy defenses, and it should be a very good defensive game. They both firmly believe that defense will win championships, and they're really excited about how they're going to be playing defensively.
The Loyal Sockets, Connor Watkins, he's going to Villanova. So he's got a nice arm. Danville.
Another tall guy.
Another tall guy,
yeah.
Loyal Sock was in a battle tonight with Mount Carmel. Danville's won their game. And
Prep touched the ball.
Yep.
That was a nice punt by Dunmore.
Patty Grady recovers the ball. He'll stay in as quarterback, I think. Going over to get the play. He's a sophomore, played on the freshman team.
And Bob, we were talking earlier that Prep doesn't have a feeder program.
No.
So, and for them to have the success they have, it really is, like I said, it's just like what's amazing is how it's embedded in Scranton Prep and Dunmore, how these guys, no, we're expected to win. And we will do what we have to do in the offseason. The discipline it takes from these kids, it's tremendous.
So the assistant coaches from Prep want to pull their players over as well. Dunmore leaving their team out. So a couple new guys in there. I'm sure they didn't get a lot of reps in practice the last couple weeks.
No.
So this is their preseason.
Especially when, as I feel like we've beaten this dead horse about the one scrimmage. It's really tough to say, okay, we got to get our first teamers, we got to get at least 20 reps in on them. Nice hit.
Good Ryan, but Ryan with Candrew looks like a sophomore. Should be one more play, and that will do it. So Dunmore will start 0-1. Scranton Prep 1-0. Both move on now onto their schedules, as do we. Thanks for joining us tonight on My TV. And good luck. Best wishes to Coach Henzis, of course.
Absolutely for him. I mean, how about the longevity? 50 years. Amazing.
And they'll run out the clock. No play needed. So this one is in the books here at Dunmore Veterans Memorial Stadium. Not the way that the Bucks fans wanted to see it end, but Scranton Prep again shutting out the Bucks. That's 3 straight games now. The Cavaliers has shut out Dunmore. Next year they'll have to pick it back up and see what can happen. So, Coach C checks. What'd you think so far?
Two tremendous programs, and I appreciate the Fox 56 and the Friday Night Rivals. Bob, you for getting in touch with me. I really enjoyed this. It's still nice to be connected to this great game.
We'll see you for the vlog.
Yes.
And we'll have Coach back for Hazleton, Dallas. So that should be a heck of a game.
It will be. Both teams did very well tonight. Coach Manello, I know he'll be out. He'll be ready to go. He's not worried about Hazleton right now.
No,
not at all. And I know Coach Brennan's not worried about Dallas either at this point. They're just, I know that Coach Brennan really, he was a little concerned because they were picked in the Wyoming Valley Conference to, be number 1. And he's very proud of that fact, but he's like, look, we're still young. We're still learning.
So our Greater YMCA Players of the Game are with Paul Grippy. Paul.
Okay, Bob, I'm here with a couple of victorious Scranton Prep players. First, Leo Oboyo, quarterback. First night, first game of the season. I'm sure you're happy with the win. How did the flow go? How do you think your team performed?
In the first half, I think we were a little timid. At points, we weren't playing as hard as we could. But in the second half, that's just how we play football at Scranton Prep.
And to beat this Dunmore team, I'm sure that you saw that all summer. You've been thinking about playing a good team like Dunmore. What's it mean to you guys to beat them?
It means the world to us. I think people thought we were a little underrated coming into this game, but after this, I think we showed them that we are the same football team we were last year.
Okay, thank you very much. That's Leo O'Boyle, quarterback from Prep. Ryan Cosgrove here, running back for Scranton Prep. There was some sloppiness in the first half, but you overcame it. How do you overcome something like that?
You just gotta keep going. Just gotta keep going.
Leo's the veteran. He's been doing this a couple of years. You're getting a lot more of the load this year. What do you put upon yourself to contribute to the team this season?
I just gotta keep running. The linemen will block. They'll make the holes. I just gotta hit them.
How much fun is this going to be celebrating over there?
A lot.
All right, congratulations on a good game and a good win. Scranton Prep, and that's Ryan Cosgrove and Leo O'Boyle. They are the Greater Scranton YMCA players of the game, Bob.
That they are. So not much you could say. Big dominating performance from the Scranton Prep Cavaliers tonight as they beat Dunmore. Okay, Coach Gallagher talking to his team, Coach Mills and Coach McHale as well. Final thoughts, Coach Secek?
Well, I thought this was a great opening game for both of them. I know Dunmore, I know they're not hanging their heads because that's not what they do, because the expectations are they are going to win. And if it's an omen to play Prep and then you get to the state final game, I'll take that. And you know right now Coach Gallagher's telling his kids we made too many mistakes, too many mental errors, and if we're going to be a good team, we got to eliminate that. And I think that's what he was just doing.
I think he was just saying right there. So that will do it. Next week, it is Loyalsock and Danville will be on the air at 7 o'clock, a rematch of last year's District 4 3A title game. So join us then. For the entire Fox 56 sports crew, for Paul Grippy, Jan Secek, this is Bob Ives saying so long from Dunmore.
Friday Night Rivals is brought to you in part by Toyota, Let's Go Places, Luzerne County Community College, Matt Burney Honda, Fidelity Bank, Keystone College, Manuka Subaru, Dunmore Drugstore, and the Greater Scranton YMCA.